Welcome back to the Fantasy Waiver Wire. This your boy Tubby. With me as always is Greg.
Yep.
Week 11. Battle of the hosts.
Yeah.
It feels like we play each other every week, man. I think after that championship.
Yeah.
And then, if you get, in any league, if you get somebody early, you get them late too. So I think you were the second person I played. So week 11, back around again. Here we go, man. Welcome back, man. Week 11 trade deadline. You got any trades out there that you shoring up your lineup?
Yeah, let's talk about trades real quick. I did want to say something to your brother because he did propose a reasonable trade, and I appreciate reasonable trades. He proposed Kyler Murray for Terry McLaurin. And I, after giving it a long, hard thought, so if he's listening, I apologize for rejecting it, but I had to on the basis of McLaurin's playing this week and Kyler Murray is not. And if you look at my wide receiving core, I got nothing but McLaurin. I got Judy. Diggs went down, so I don't have the benefit. Moore never worked out for me, so I ended up dropping him. So I'm rolling with Juwan Jennings, who I got off the waiver wire, who somebody tried to trade to me, and then I picked up off the waiver wire. And then I'm rolling with McLaurin, and then I got Judy and Jamison Williams, who's not really done well since his suspension. So he's been, nothing burger. So I couldn't let McLaurin go play in the Eagles defense tonight when he's the number one guy. I just couldn't see that happening. And I looked at Tua's schedule, and he's got Vegas this week, and then he's got, kind of a decent schedule, favorable for him.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't get another concussion. You got Las Vegas and then New England and then at Green Bay and then the Jets and Houston. These are teams that he could probably do well against. Three of the next 5 are at home. So I was like, well, I'm going to roll with Tua against Vegas and then keep McLaurin in my lineup so that I can at least maybe have a chance against you. I got to win out. I'm 3-7. So it would have been a nice flyer and I would have been good about it, but I couldn't accept it. Now, I did get another trade offer from our favorite Florida man, JMC. And I just got to talk about this here real quick. His offer was Patrick Mahomes, interception king of the year, who's scoring next to nothing right now. And again, he's throwing Jalen Waddle at me like it's some sort of candy. Jalen Waddle in my other league is on the waiver wire. Nobody's picking up Jalen Waddle. For Terry McLaurin and Jahmyr Gibbs, that was what he wants for me. So he wants Terry McLaurin and Jahmyr Gibbs for Mahomes and Waddle. So again, I would be without my best running back because Breece Hall is not done, and my best receiver for a quarterback who is underperforming this year. So I made a counter offer, and it was Derrick Henry and CeeDee Lamb. So hey, if you want to trade for my best running back and receiver, let's get up your best running back and receiver. And if you want that, then I'll take C. Now CD doesn't have a quarterback throwing to him right now.
Yeah.
So it's a bargain. It's in your favor.
Well,
I get Derrick Henry and you get Jahmyr Gibbs. I get CD, you get Terry McLaurin. I call that a fair trade. Come on. So that's what I was talking about on Tuesday when I'm like, don't offer me a trade.
Right.
You're throwing up Mahomes like you're giving me something. And then you tuck Waddle into the deal and then ask for my best receiver and my best running back. It's like, all right.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I see. He has both of these guys on the waiver wire as well too. I seen it. T. Higgins just popped up. I was thinking about offering him a trade for T. Higgins, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm not really sure. I mean, I just need my wide receivers to be healthy.
Right.
I have a ton that are playing. I have 3 that are playing pretty solid. Like when DK is healthy, he's solid.
Do one of his trades. Offer him Quentin Johnson for T. Higgins.
That's exactly where I was going. So that's exactly what I was going to do. When it popped up, I hit this button right here, and I was like, who should I trade?
You're not going to trade.
I was like, maybe I can go Parasol and Quentin Johnson.
I don't know if he'll accept that.
But these are 2 guys that are I won't say expendable because nobody is expendable. But I have McBride on a bye,
Offer him more.
and I have Chuba as well on the bye. So I was going to actually offer him like Travis Etienne. Like
Oh, there you go.
running backs are so
Yeah.
hard to come by, man. Sometimes if you have a running back that can just get you 10 points, sometimes that's better than nothing.
Offer him DJ Moore. You got him off the waiver wire when I dropped him.
Yeah. So, and that was another thing. I was going to offer him DJ Moore.
Yeah.
As well too, but I'm thinking like this is not a league where you want to carry like garbage players, like just kind of like tag alongs. All your guys on your squad, you kind of need them to play if need be. So, but then I'm like, okay, I got to make reason why I thought I don't want to say get rid of a wide receiver, but let's say Quentin Johnston can come off by next week. McBride will be back, and I can play McBride and Joku here. You know what I'm saying? Or Sutton has been balling.
Oh, yeah.
Sutton
you don't want to get rid of Sutton right now.
Balling. Called him at a good time.
Yep, and they
give him the ball. He does well.
They got Vegas and Cleveland coming up.
Look at that.
I wouldn't drop him for nothing.
And then I have,
and you got Atlanta at home, so they should be all right.
I have Drake. When Drake London's healthy, I know a lot of people were skeptical on him in the draft, and I took a flyer on him, but he's been one of the best this year when healthy. Mainly because Kirk Cousins, if he finds a number one guy, he will throw the ball a lot. I was surprised Pitts didn't uptick when Drake London was down. But man, DK, if he's healthy, I'm good, man. I'm good there. Running backs, man, shaky. Every week, Harris. I keep getting these backs that you have a backup running back just right on their heels. So I have Harris and you have Warren right on his heels, right? I have Etienne, you have Tank right on his heels. So, man, Chuba has been like my saving grace this year, and especially because Miles Sanders hasn't panned out the way they want to, and then he got hurt, so that really helped my chances. And then Taylor coming back, hopefully if I make the playoffs, I could, these guys are my best shot. So my team is not looking that bad because I've made some pretty good moves off the waiver wire. I want to see if DJ Moore trends back up. I just want to see if they can fix a few things with the Bears. You never know what happens after a coach gets fired. So just hope, because he has talent, man. It's hard to just let talent go.
I held on to him all year after the first part of the season. If you look from week 6 on, you can't have that in your starting lineup.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at week 6 on, and you get 5 weeks of that, including the bye week, and you're just done. That's just And so if you get something out of him, more power to you. But I couldn't even have him taking up a roster spot. Putting in 6 a week, that's not even worth a bench spot for me. And it like we said on Tuesday, this isn't a DJ Moore thing. It's Caleb Williams struggling.
Oh yeah,
get in a rhythm with that offense. Keenan Allen's out there on our waiver wire struggling. When both of these guys were drafted, in the draft projected to be top receivers this year, and it just didn't happen. And they had a couple of games there where DJ went off. You look at week 5, but that was Carolina. And I looked at DJ's schedule: Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit. You got 3 division games coming up. I'm like, I can't do it. So I had to drop him for Juwan Jennings, which I thought was smart when I saw Juwan on the waiver wire. He's been when I had Ayuk earlier in the season. So I lost 2 of my receivers this year right off the bat. I lost Ayuk and Diggs. So you can't. Yeah, you can't win.
Definitely Ayuk. That's right. Yeah. I didn't even know you had. Oh, that's right. You lost Diggs a little bit later. Bit later. I got you. Okay. I was like, okay, Diggs. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you can't do anything when you're in that position, wide receiver wise. So I had to pick up Juwan. And one of the things was that watching Juwan Jennings steal the catches from Ayuk made me more of a factor wanting him more. So I don't know what the future holds if I make it. I got to pretty much win out, but I'm going to give it everything I got this week. I'm going to motivate the players. I'm going to get them in the locker room beforehand, call them each up on their cell phone, have a text call, group text.
Yeah.
The guys, we're playing against Bird this weekend or against Tubby. We got to win this. You got to win this matchup and get in a playoff hunt.
Give them a whole Newt Rodney.
Yes, exactly.
Growl up. Got a little post for my bro. What's up, bro?
Yeah, definitely.
Don't do fair trades. That's facts. I think everybody in our league, if I talk to anybody in our league on the sidebar, they're always like, man, that guy Joe, or this guy, the
I
trade.
just
I just always go back to, like, does he hope that somebody's like half asleep and they're dead? You know what I mean? Like this is fantasy football, especially in
right.
our league. Guys are tight with these players. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of whole loose ends out there in
So,
this league.
and I will say again, since I know your brother's Bruce is on online, I wish I could have accepted the trade, but I hope you understand the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Is that I got to roll with Tua in this situation because I need McLaurin this week, and Kyler wouldn't have been playing, and I didn't want to roll with Russ. Would have been my thing while waiting for Kyler to come back. Kyler is a great asset. So I think he would have been good but giving up number one receiver when I got nothing else just was not going to happen. But yeah, throwing me Mahomes and Waddle for McLaurin and Gibbs, it's like you're going to take my best receiver and my best running back.
Right.
And this is what you're going to give me, a quarterback that, yeah, is a name, but he's thrown more interceptions than just about anybody this league. And I can't have it.
I mean, it was a perfect year for him to troll me and pick him up. I'm sticking with that. There is no way possible that you just jump out the window. Joe normally picks guys a little bit later.
Yeah.
He likes to load up. But hey, if that was his strategy, hey, good for you.
Well,
you picked a really high draft pick that you're not even using.
He's trying to trade.
Right now.
It's probably didn't try to trade him to you.
he put him on the waiver wire.
I mean, I'm surprised he didn't offer him to you because he knows how much you liked having Mahomes. And I think he just saw how Mahomes did for you. So he was like, I'll pick him up before Tubby can.
So. That's his response there. Nah, man. Yeah. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah. So here's the thing. It wasn't even like Patrick Mahomes in his first, and he still is, but season 2 through 5 or 6, he's a set it and forget it.
Mm-hmm.
That was just the only strategy. It just helps you to not carry 2 quarterbacks. It had nothing to do with like my love for Patrick Mahomes. I'm not Rayola, the kid from Nebraska. I'm not. It's just okay. It's just a strategy. If I get this guy, that gives me another slot. And okay, I'll jump out the window a little bit early, but I know you can get guys all the way throughout the draft. So that's just kind of always been my strategy. And in both leagues, bro, both leagues, somebody picked up, because I've had Mahomes every year in like both leagues, even the leagues I've won. And they picked him up early. And I got Josh Allen in both leagues. I'm like, the strategy still remains. You will always feel bad benching Josh Allen for anybody because the ceiling is there. It's like, boom, it's no telling. There is no telling how many points he can score in any given week. That's how I felt about Patrick Mahomes as well, too. So that's what the strategy was behind that.
Well, meanwhile, I loaded up on receivers and running backs and waited until like the 7th, 8th round to take Richardson, who has not panned out. And so I've been struggling. And so I won't make that mistake next year. Mm-hmm. I saw something in him. I don't know what. And I thought maybe I should have taken Daniels instead of him. But, you don't know. You're taking a chance on that kind of. I wanted to have that rushing quarterback that would give me those extra yards, those intangibles. Now, looking at Mahomes' numbers, I'm not saying Mahomes isn't not putting up fantasy numbers. He's putting up fantasy numbers without a doubt. It's just the fact that you're giving me him and Waddle for my best wide receiver and my best running back.
Right.
And that the value just isn't there. And I look at this, he's got Buffalo this weekend at Buffalo, where they don't, we'll see where they perform, where the whole Chiefs perform, and how Pat does. But he's got at Carolina, Las Vegas. Those are probably high scoring games for him.
Yeah, but going into the playoffs
for me to have a high scoring quarterback when I got Tua playing the same teams, and I still have McLaurin, I still have McLaurin and Gibbs. And so I was like, I can't do it.
No, man. I'm even surprised that old Hurts. Let me look at his numbers. It's been solid after that bye week. He really took off. Well, Atlanta, he did. Well, it was really just 2 bad weeks. He got 34-41.
The New Orleans game was a low scoring game that they won. Tampa Bay was a struggle. But then other than that, the Giant game, they just ran the ball a lot, but he still had 27 points.
Yeah. And
then since then, he's been on a tear.
And this is without damn near the fourth quarter for Dallas.
Didn't even play the fourth quarter. Yeah. That was basically almost all the third quarter. Cause wasn't it
the end of the second
6 at halftime?
The end of the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
We scored like 4 straight drives.
Yeah.
because that's just how the Eagles could lull you to sleep, and then all of a sudden they're just scoring
I
at
know.
will. It's just crazy.
I wish they could play just 4 quarters. I really do.
But it's like it's always been like that. Even the Super Bowl year, sometimes the game was over at halftime. Sometimes they would just run it up in the second quarter,
Yeah.
and the game would be over at halftime.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So yeah, man. But we have our matchup this week.
I know.
Go down that. And I'm gonna get here, focus on the Eagles game. So, I need to win. I need to get to 7. I think it's 5 weeks left, including this week. No, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, it's 4 weeks left. We have 4 weeks left.
Yeah.
Including this week. So not even left. So we have 4 weeks total before the playoffs. Playoffs start week 15. How about that?
Yep.
So 7-7 got me in last year. So like 7 is my magic number because my point total has been a little bit high this year. So I'm like, okay, same thing as last year. 3 of us finished 7-7. Me, you, and Outcast at the times. Outcast. And we got in just based off of points and then went to the championship. So no matter where you're at, no matter where you're ranked, it's always a shot. And I just got really lucky. But anyway, our matchup here, man, you got the better matchup here with Tua going against the Raiders.
Yeah, that helps.
Now, and I'm going with the Dolphins defense, by the way, just to kind of help me out a little bit. Hopefully Minshew plays, really any of them. It don't matter, but hopefully Minshew plays. He'll turn that thing over. And that's what I need. He will, man. But I think he got benched for Riddler. I'm not really sure the whole situation because
they keep going back and forth. But it wouldn't.
I don't know how.
I think Ritter's back in there, but it doesn't matter.
If I'm a new coach, there is no way in hell I'm putting my first season on the line with Gardner Minshew. You got to get me somebody. You have to go get me somebody that I could actually win with. My brother's a Raiders fan too, so Raiders starting. So he's already benched. Benched in Indy. Well, no. He actually, when Richardson got hurt, he actually took him to the playoffs last year. So good on him. But I'm not starting my season as a first-year coach with somebody that really doesn't have a high chance of taking me to the playoffs. Then you lose Adams throughout the year, and your running backs aren't producing at all. Crazy situation down there.
Yep, without a doubt.
But Breece Hall, I need him to continue on being Breece. I just need him to be himself, get him that good old 11 to 15 here, but he can go off at any moment, especially playing against Indy.
Yeah, it comes down to Rodgers. Rodgers wants to throw 50 times a game, so it's like, you don't start with the ground game. And see, when the Jets were looking even halfway decent in previous years before Rodgers, it's like they were running the ball and relying on the defense. Now it's let's just keep throwing it, going 3 and out. It's a different mindset, and I think it hurts Breece Hall quite a bit. Yeah, because it's not lack of talent; it's the lack of not the opportunity. Yeah. So
running back battle definitely leans in your favor
slightly. Yeah,
especially with Gibbs
But again, I got to deal with Montgomery. You just have Jalen Warren to deal with Najee.
Harris is more touchdown dependent. With Warren healthy, it's going to take him out of the pass game. But these guys they'll be in both.
Yeah.
So, I catch up a little bit if my wide receivers act like who they can act like. I may catch up. Jennings he can be boom or bust. I just need these guys to be themselves. Just be yourselves. If you can just get me the numbers that are right here posted. That'll get me trending in the right direction. DK's coming off of a 3-week absence, 2 with a knee injury plus the bye week. So hopefully he's nice and fresh. But they're playing against the Niners, so this is another good matchup away from me. You know what I'm saying? Even with Gibbs, look at the matchups, right? I got Taylor, but he's going against the Jets. I have Harris, but he's going against Baltimore.
Right.
You got Hall against Indy and Gibbs against Jacksonville with the backup in this week. So, McLaurin.
You got to hope McLaurin has a rough night tonight.
Yeah, definitely. They said he plays 77% of his snaps on the left, which is where Mitchell is.
That'll be interesting.
Mitchell right now is giving us our best. He's our best
cover
corner that can cover their best right now. So I just hope he can continue that streak. Maybe get his first pick tonight. First NFL pick for Mitchell. Come on, Mitchell.
Yeah, I'd like that.
He's in an absolute dogfight. Then Jennings, you just never know. I don't know who's getting the ball in San Francisco. But Joku and Hawkinson, how's Hawk done this year? Let me see.
We've been out most of the year. He had a big game last week.
Big game
But
against Jacksonville.
that was his first game back, was the Indy game, and they had him kind of on a tight leash, 4 targets. But yeah, he had a really good game last week.
And then you
Oh.
have Tennessee this week, a good matchup. You got some really good matchups this
Yep.
week. Look, Jared Judy against New Orleans. I have Sutton, but he's going up against. So I have Joku against New Orleans. So that does help me. I got Sutton going against Atlanta. Again, I just don't really know. There. Let me see here. Williams, he's just. I don't know what you get out of Williams. He's boomer bust.
Well, he's had some good games. He had
Mm-hmm.
great week 1, decent week 2, and then he had, he's been up and down, and then he had the suspension. So really no consistency. And then last week he comes back with 11, and I'm starting him, basically out of necessity. So
why was he suspended? I don't remember.
It was
was he the one taking like Adderall or something like that?
It was a substance abuse. Yeah.
It was like Adderall or something. That was I know somebody was something about Adderall.
Yep.
And I just maybe
because he had the gambling before that, and if that would have been gambling again, he'd been done.
And gambling plus Adderall, man.
Yeah. He's a wake up all night making bets.
Man, again, man, we picked up 2 really good defense. I mean, Minnesota's defense is really good.
Yeah, I've been rolling with their defense for a while. I found them on the waiver wire one week and said, yeah, I'll just stick with them, and they've been solid.
Yeah, just
had
really
one
good.
rough week. Other than that, they're double digits every single week. So
yeah, it's been solid.
I don't see me, playing a streaming defense this year. If you've got a defense like Minnesota right now. I mean, even the lineups that are coming up, Chicago, right. I'm going to be playing them next week. So yeah.
Yeah,
Lineups, Seattle might be rough, but who knows? But yeah, then you got Arizona, Atlanta. Yeah, I'm good with rolling with Minnesota.
Yeah, all right.
No point in streaming. That's just the bench. Yeah, I'm waiting for Russ. I wouldn't play him against Baltimore. It'll be a week to week whether I play Tua or Russ. It's got to be a really good matchup. But I'm hanging on to Russ because I think he's got a big game in him with Pickens. I think he may have a big game this weekend, to be honest with you. Because of the Baltimore defensive, pass defense. I think he could honestly have a really good game, but I got to play Tua against Vegas. I mean, that would be silly not to.
100%, especially the way Burrow looked, throwing 5 tutties. I mean, and they're hungry too. They won last week. What is the Dolphins' record right now? Look.
Oh, it's not great. It's 2 or 3.
I think they just won like their 4th game or something like that.
Oh, is it really 4? I was thinking 3.
Oh, okay. You may very well be right. Let's look at this game tonight. Let's see who has folks tonight. Jaden Daniels, English Cockpit. Yeah, Robinson's back. Slated for 17 plus Eckler. That's a good little 1-2 punch, man. Nice young, powerful back, and then a little change of pace veteran. It's pretty good for him. But Saquon. I need Saquon to get busy.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now, even though he's not on my team, I don't care. I want him to get busy.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't really have to use him too much last week. He still made a lot of great plays.
This is that kind of game where Saquon needs to take control, and we need to stop running him into the teeth of the defense. You need to get him outside where he's got space. I'm getting a little irritated with the play calling design of the Eagles just because of the fact that they're not playing to their strengths.
Right.
And they're playing to whatever the play designer thinks will work. It's like, well, you've got a player that if you get him out in space, he can make people miss. And once he gets ahead of steam, he's gone. Why are you running him into 8 men in the box? Okay. Because we know you're going to run it. You run him up the middle on first down. What are teams set up to do? They know you're running up the middle on first down. So stop with the dumb shit. So we'll see. I'm hoping that they play with a little bit more sense as far as not the team, freaking coaching. That's what my wife asked me tonight. Well, how do you think the Eagles are going to do tonight? I said, well, these are 2 evenly matched teams. I looked at the records and who they had played, and they played similar opponents.
Oh, yeah.
Similar outcomes, and they have a similar record, 7-3, 7-2. Eagles got the advantage being at home. I said, so it comes down to coaching. It comes down to the decision-making that Sirianni, Moore, and Fangio make against this other division rival. Do they continue to blunder their way through a game? Because if they do that, the Eagles will not win.
When I watched the Ravens play, I noticed how fast they moved the ball. Like it's out. It's like boom, boom, boom. Like some of their plays are like really, really crisp. That's one thing I noticed about the Ravens this year. Lamar just knows what he's doing with the ball almost every play. I don't know if you've seen that like fake run to the pass, but just how it was orchestrated and set up. The Ravens, man, every time I look at their offense, I'm like, whoever their coach is, we need him because the plays are really crisp, they're sharp, and they're getting the ball out fast.
They were breaking down the plays, like I mentioned on Tuesday, of the Eagles against the Cowboys in that first half.
Mhm.
And it was everybody streaking down the sidelines and nobody over the middle.
Yeah.
Nobody cutting a slant route. It was like everything that they ran in that first half when Hurts was struggling had to take time to develop.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're running plays that take that much time to develop, maybe you need to design newer plays. It's, to me, it's elementary.
And that's why people believe they show Kellen Moore's map at other places he's coached,
Mhm.
whether it be Dallas or the Chargers,
Mhm.
and they shown how the routes are run now in Philly, and then they compared them how they were run under Sirianni, and people are like, nah, this is Sirianni's route tree still. This is
Mhm.
Sirianni's game plan, you know. So we got a question.
It's a horrible one. Yeah, it's a horrible gameplay. All right.
Yeah. Just traded Chuba
Ooh.
Smith, 4th round pick. Oh, y'all got a crazy league for Barkley and an round 8 pick. Wow. Did I win? Man, I'm not really familiar, honestly. Do you have a league, Greg? Any other leagues?
I have not been in a pre-draft league where we're like, it's a dynasty league. I don't know if is it a keeper or a dynasty.
Man, that's a unique league. Yeah, I've been in keeper leagues, but it's talking about draft pick, 4th rounds. That seems like a pretty intense league.
So
man.
if we take it on the surface, if you take out the picks, which you took a 4-round hit, you're losing Chuba, who's had a great season, and Smith. Now, here's the thing about Devontae Smith. You can bring up Devontae's numbers.
Mhm.
I love Devontae, but he has been kind of hit or miss because of whether AJ's in the lineup or because I'm assuming he means Devontae. I mean, I can't think of anybody else he would be meaning Smith. He knows we're Eagles fans, so he's got to know we would assume that. So you look at last week against Dallas, offensive outpouring, he had 3 points. Nothing against the Giants. And he had 2 targets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a frustrating player because he could put up 20 every week. But I mean, if you have Barkley and you trade Barkley away to get Chuba and Smith, it almost seems like a wash for the person who got those. I know you have Chuba, so you know how valuable he's been to your team.
Man,
Saquon in another league, and I tell you, without Saquon in my other league, I wouldn't be where I'm at in that league.
Right. I guess like a better, to me, a better question would be, okay, well, then who's your other wide receivers?
That's good.
Because Chuba has been doing just fine. I know he's not putting up Saquon numbers, but he's been doing just fine for me. And then to give up Smith as well, I don't know. It seems like a lot. So to me, that would be like giving up. Let me add Chuba in here.
So I will say this:
so it's like giving up 50 points. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I will say this. I mean, the Eagles got Washington at home tonight, and they're at the Rams and at the Ravens, so they'll probably be doing a lot of running. And then the next 4 of their 5 games are at home, so that runs into the playoffs era with only Washington being on the road. So it's favorable for Barkley for sure. But yeah. So I do, while you're looking that up, I will say something about the schedule makers. I said it last week, and I said the NFL does the Eagles no favors. Do you realize we are playing this game at home? After this game, it goes to week 13, and we're going on the road to the Ravens, on the road to the Rams. Week 13, you know how many games we will have played at home by week 13, the Eagles?
Let me see. We away for Green Bay. So 1, 2, just 4.
Exactly, by week 13.
Jeez.
I know. Now they play the 4.
I think that's why they're winning. Go ahead. Sorry.
4 of the last 5 at home. But it's like, dude, what a lopsided home away schedule. Now, granted, yes, they played in Rio for the opener, and that was technically their home game.
All right.
But still, week 13, and you would only have played 5 if they had played that at the link. That is some crazy schedule making. But
I think that was like the best case scenario for the Eagles, because if you look at the first 4 weeks, the Eagles play better away from home.
Oh, they do.
They just play better. Because I think when the Eagles fans are away, they're so appreciative to see them.
Yeah.
They're not like, they get to see him every home game, and they're
Yeah.
agitated if things don't go their way immediately. So I think this was the best case scenario, man. Coming out that bye week, we have the home game at Cleveland.
Yep.
Boom, beat them. Whew, okay, cool.
The fact that they've won 3 out of the last, they won 5 straight and 3 of them on the road is huge.
Oh yeah.
So it comes into play because we've got this Washington game and then 2 more on the road, and then we only play 1 more on the road the rest of the way. So that's
good point. And really, once we travel to the West Coast,
mm-hmm.
we're basically home for the rest of the year.
Yep.
These guys are taking buses and trains and shit.
Yep.
Baltimore, North Carolina, same state. Washington, D.C.
So
Dallas comes to us, Giants come to us. So they are staying home, which is good. So I don't know, man. But I think a lot of winnable games.
Yeah, with this trade, Barkley has a favorable schedule. The pick thing, like I said, you gave up quite a bit in picks, but it depends on how much you value Barkley. Yes, he's going off. Can he go off even higher? He's got a high ceiling still. The Eagles have not even begun to use him as much as they could. Yeah. So if he stays healthy, that could be a good trade. It's just that, I mean, if you're looking at
why Barkley has played well is because he's not on a team where everything depends on him.
Yeah.
Whether they win or lose, he knows he doesn't have to face that New York media just blaming him for every carry, every injury. He can look around like, I got AJ, I have Jalen, I have Devontae. I have other guys that can contribute, can also take on a little bit of the responsibility to win, especially Jalen. He can, he's not out there where it's like Daniel Jones sucks, so let's just pick on Saquon or back and forth. He knows that he has a good leader, at least in Jalen. Yep. He's always going to take the brunt of it. So, and I think they just are gelling, man, at the right time. They look happier. The Eagles look happier. I mean, that happens when you're winning. But they look happier overall. The sideline seems a little more animated. And I think it's because I don't know, as a result, they're tackling better.
Yeah.
That was the number one thing, man. I know we go back and forth about like coverages and stuff like that. And hey, Dylan, thanks for your question. I think we split here. I don't know. I would have kept Chuba. But the drafting plus a 4th pick, I think with the round 4 pick, I think that's a little bit much.
Yeah.
For me. Just being honest. So, but if I see what you mean, you can go 1 player keeper, then you keep Saquon going into next year.
If it's
it's huge for you. And we don't know where Chuba will be, but we know Saquon.
Well, we know he's going to be in Carolina, but we don't know how well he's going to be.
Right. How well he's going to play. He definitely is going to be in Carolina with the new contract. 100%. So I see your overall point there.
If it's a dynasty
into next year.
Yeah, if it's dynasty, then I'm like, you won that. But so we'll have to see.
Yeah, man. Thanks for your question. But man, just back to Saquon and the Birds in general. I think Saquon is in a good spot, man. He don't need 25 carries a game. It's like just like Jalen doesn't need 30, 35 passes a game. He can keep him between maybe 15 and 20. And then we'll sprinkle Gainwell in for like 5 and maybe give Shipley 1 or 2.
I would love to see more Shipley, to be honest.
I would love to see more Shipley as well, too. He's also playing well on special teams.
He's to me, he looks beefier than Gainwell, and he's got a little bit more power behind him, a little drive in his legs.
A little hungrier. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to see him just in there, just in general. Not over Saquon, but, when they spell Saquon, I'd love to see Shipley get a chance.
I agree. I agree with you. He has a nice little explosiveness to him.
Exactly.
He's a good back, and we're not losing a whole lot. Sometimes Gainwell can be. It's like you blink, he can get you 8 yards, and then sometimes he can't get anywhere, and it's like too much in between there. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, if Gainwell was on another team, he would not be even a consideration on the roster, in my opinion, just because the Eagles line is so good. He's been able to get those 8-yard runs. I think that Shipley could make more out of it.
Yeah. 10-man league.
Yep.
Made some trades, but Josh Allen, CMC, Henry, Amaran, DK, Kittle, now Barkley, and Mooney.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel you. So, why not take CMC into the next year?
DK, then giving up Smith isn't that big a deal.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know who you kept last year. If it was CMC and you got to give him up this year, then it makes sense to have Barkley, because out of those, Amon Ra or Barkley, who I'd keep. But if I had Barkley, I'd definitely keeping him in a one player keeper. You know, it'd be tough between him and CMC, but I think I would still, even if I had both of those guys going in next year, I'd take Barkley.
I hear you. I mean, and it was crazy because people weren't this like the first draft where people weren't as high on CMC as they normally are. You know, it's like a buzz coming into the draft, like, okay, let's get
damn Madden curse. That Madden curse, man.
And then I remember looking. I think he went 4th in our league.
I can't
CMC
remember.
went 4th.
I took.
Let's see where he was drafted. 3rd. Oh, okay, so he didn't make it far. 3rd.
I think I picked 4th or 5th because I might have taken him. To be honest with you, because I had him last year and he worked really well for me. So luckily that worked out for me. But now he's back, so we'll see. You know,
I mean, he comes right back and gets you a 20 piece.
Yeah, and that's just getting started. So
20 piece.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, this is a hell of a team. In a 10-man league, that is insane.
Yeah, you're giving up the draft pick. When I look at that, you're only giving up the draft pick.
I'm just trying to think, where the hell was Amon-Ra? Where was St. Brown at? How could you get CMC? Like, how did these two guys?
Yeah,
one of these guys had to make it out of the first round.
Henry.
Am I tripping?
And Henry, yeah.
But just even if we keeping it with Amon-Ra and CMC, those guys don't make it out the first round, do they? Let me see. That's so crazy, man. That's a hell of a draft, man.
Yeah, I would say that it's him and a bunch of.
He went 4th in our league.
Yeah. And then you got CMC who went 3rd, and then you got Henry. Yeah, I would say that his opponents are probably 6th graders. And they're just drafting players based on the pretty colors.
Henry went in the 3rd round in our league, first pick, 3rd round,
which is surprising.
We just looked at the number 3 overall and 4th overall pick, and that's why I'm like, how the hell? And then you still pick up Josh Allen? Where were they?
Yeah, well, Josh Allen, you quarterback, you probably get 3rd, 4th round. So,
but that's where Henry and DK, these guys are still hanging around.
Now he turned Chuba, who's a late pick, who's had a great into Barkley, so that's great. And Darnell Mooney wasn't somebody who was on anybody's radar. So yeah, it's a good draft.
I get Mooney, I get Kittle because he dropped in our league too. Kittle,
yeah, he did.
But man, Josh Allen, CMC, Amon-Ra, and DK. That's
a little bit because of just
hitters,
but not
Yeah, man. Let me see where Metcalf went in our league. I'm just geeking a little bit. Let me see.
2nd or 3rd?
5th. I picked him up 5th round.
5th round.
He's still hanging around the 5th.
Crazy.
5th round. So yeah, man, hell of a draft for you, man. Good luck on the rest of the season. I don't know what your tell us what your record is, man. Seeing if you're creeping in the good old playoffs. But again, man, we have a matchup tonight, the battle of the hosts.
Yeah, we do.
A fantasy waiver wire duel.
Slight edge to you right now, but we'll see how
Yeah. And I just noticed McBride. I noticed McBride a little bit late that he was on a bye. It's because I have Connor in my other league.
Okay.
I was fixing my roster. I said, wait a minute, if Connor's out, oh shit, let me go. I mean, I would have caught it on Sunday, surely. Right. But it's still better to do it now than be sitting there and I lose by 5 or 6 points. I'll be salty. So yeah, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I'm gonna get ready for this Eagles game.
I hear you.
My anxiety is building. When you bleed green, that's how it is. You feel like you walking out there. You feel like you walking through the tunnel. They got the midnight green on the night.
I'm wearing black, so yeah.
So that's what the Eagles coming out in, the midnight green tonight against Washington. Hopefully we can break that streak of them coming in there playing well against us.
They tend to do that.
We don't have Quez to fumble the ball late. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't get too hard on that. But you got anything before we get out of here, Greg?
No, just looking forward to a good week and a good weekend. We got a lot going on. I enjoy if the Eagles win tonight, then I can just enjoy my weekend. So good weekend to everybody. Thanksgiving coming up. So hope everybody has a great time for the holidays. And we'll see y'all next week.
That's right, man. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Appreciate the questions. And we will see y'all next week on Tuesday for the recap and the wrap up as we move forward here to the playoffs, man. 4 weeks before the playoffs. It's getting tight. Thanks for stopping by. We are gone.